For this week's picks, I'm going to go with all classics currently streaming on Netflix Instant. Action comedy, Beverly Hills Cop. I know it may be hard to believe, but there was a time when Eddie Murphy was actually funny. And not just a little bit funny. I'm talking hysterically funny. Beverly Hills Cop mixes a hilarious script with Eddie Murphy's outstanding delivery, as well as some fantastic action sequences. This movie set the formula that a lot of other action comedies followed. Sci-fi, The Running Man, a fancied-up futuristic version of The Most Dangerous Game. While Schwarzenegger has had much bigger movies, this is one that I always come back to. The movie's full of quotable lines and silliness that seemed perfectly normal in 1987. Let's not forget how amazingly awesome Richard Dawson was as Killian. Watch this, and then go play Smash TV. Comedy, Airplane, a spoof movie back when spoof movies were funny, and not just an endless string of references masquerading as humor. The movie's a goof on the disaster movies of the 1950s, specifically the 1957 film 0 Hour, which Abrams and the Zucker brothers called the serious version of Airplane. One of those movies that's still funny after all these years. Sci-fi drama, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, one of my all-time favorite movies. Everything about it still holds up today, even though it's 37 years later. After an encounter with a UFO, Roy Neary, played brilliantly by Richard Dreyfuss, becomes obsessed with uncovering what happened to him. He eventually leaves everything in his life behind, including his family, to go on a cross-country trek to try to make sense of what's going on in his head. Sci-fi comedy, Spaceballs, another example of how to properly do a spoof. Mel Brooks wonderfully skewers Star Wars, but at the same time, with a reverent tone. Everything from the cast to the visuals to the jokes are all done perfectly. I watched this again recently and still love it. One of the best comedies ever made. That's all I got for this week. I'll see you next time.